Every time you feel good, your brain is already planning how to make you pay for it. That's not a warning. That's neuroscience. And it's the entire premise of the most important book on addiction you'll read this year. Dr. Anna Lembke is a psychiatrist at Stanford who spent decades treating addiction, not just to drugs, but to phones, sugar, shopping, work. And what she discovered is that we're not living in a scarcity problem anymore. We're living in an abundance problem. For most of human history, pleasure was hard to find and pain was everywhere. Today, that's flipped. Pleasure is one tap away, and it's quietly rewiring how much pain we can tolerate. Here are the 3 ideas from this book that will change how you see every craving you've ever had. Idea 1. Pleasure and pain are processed in the same part of your brain, and they work like a seesaw. Every time you tip that scale toward pleasure, a drink, a scroll, a sugar hit, your brain immediately works to bring it back level. It does this by triggering an equal and opposite dip into pain, or what she calls a come down. One hit, no big deal. Your brain resets. But do it again and again. Check the phone, get the like, repeat, and your brain starts adapting before you even act. It tilts the scale toward pain by default, just to prepare for the next hit. That restlessness you feel when you haven't checked your phone in 10 minutes? That's not boredom. That's your brain's baseline, quietly recalibrated by 1,000 tiny doses of dopamine. And here's where it gets uncomfortable, because the way out isn't what you think. Idea 2. The solution isn't self-control, it's abstinence for a specific, measurable amount of time. Lembke prescribes what she calls a dopamine fast, typically 30 days off the substance or behavior you're overusing. Not because you're weak-willed, but because your brain's reward system needs roughly that long to physically reset its sensitivity. Here's the part almost nobody expects. The first few days feel worse, not better. Irritability, anxiety, low mood. That's withdrawal from your own dopamine system. But if you push through roughly 2 weeks, most people report something they haven't felt in years. Coffee tastes stronger. A walk feels sufficient. Silence stops being unbearable. That's not a coincidence. That's your baseline resetting to where it's supposed to be. But Lembke doesn't stop at quit for 30 days. She goes one step further. And this is the idea most people miss entirely. Idea 3. The antidote to compulsive pleasure-seeking isn't just abstaining. It's radical honesty and deliberately making pleasure harder to access. Lembke found that patients who spoke openly and specifically about their cravings, instead of hiding or minimizing them, showed measurable changes in the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for self-control. Honesty isn't just emotionally useful, it's neurologically useful. And then there's what she calls self-binding, physically creating friction between yourself and the thing you overuse. Deleting the app, leaving your phone in another room, only keeping cash instead of cards. Not because friction is punishment, but because in a world engineered to be frictionless, a little resistance is what lets your prefrontal cortex catch up to your impulses. So here's what it comes down to. We didn't get worse at self-control. We got better at building things that exploit it. The phones, the feeds, the fast everything. None of it is an accident. It's engineered to tip your scale over and over until pain becomes your resting state and pleasure becomes the only thing that feels normal. Dopamine Nation isn't really a book about addiction. It's a book about attention, where it goes, what it costs you, and how to get it back. If one part of this hit close to home, that's usually the sign worth paying attention to.